Hi there, lovelies. I'm Rhonda Crimes. I'm a life and leadership coach, supporting everyday people just like you to reflect and rework your everyday stories so you can step into the everyday leadership of your families and communities and create compelling, meaningful and fruitful lives every day. I'm going to be continuing our journey into the gifts of imperfection from Brené Brown. But I'm going to mix it up a bit going forward. Instead of a couple of longer videos covering loads of information, I'm going to do a video a day, breaking up the book into bite-sized chunks, Mondays through Fridays. It's my hope that in doing this, you can watch or listen on the fly instead of having to find a half an hour or so for the task, as well as reading the book, of course. And so today, let's talk about the first of the three gifts of imperfection, courage. So according to theologian Mary Daly, courage is it's a habitus, a habit, a virtue. You get it by courageous acts. It's like you learn to swim by swimming. You learn courage by couraging. And in total agreement, Brenè concludes that the same can be said for the other two gifts of imperfection, compassion and connection. Wholehearted living is how the three work together in daily practice, and I'll cover those other two off in the next week. So let's look at courage first. And this is another aspect of Brené Brown that I love. She loves to geek out on what a word means and where it originated and then how it develops or alters over time. So courage comes from the Latin cor, which is the word for heart. In its earliest forms, the word courage had a very different meaning to now. It was to speak one's mind by telling one's heart. I'm not sure that's how I would have defined it. I'd probably go more along the lines of the modern version involving heroes and heroic actions. I do think, though, that this newer interpretation almost makes it elusive or outside of the reach of everyday people, which is also why I resonate with the notion of getting back in touch with the original idea of speaking honestly and openly about who we are, about what we're feeling, and about our experiences, good and bad. That being the definition of courage. We read, see, and hear about extraordinary acts of courage in action movies, amazing bravery in moments of crisis where the heroes are putting their lives on the line. And don't get me wrong, these are fabulous. And I love me a good action flick. And in real life, they're moments to be admired and applauded. But that is not the courage that Brené speaks of in wholehearted living. She speaks of everyday courage by everyday people, more aligned to the origins of the word. So ordinary courage is about putting our vulnerability on the line. Ordinary courage is what we see every day when someone asks for more information during a presentation, even though they risk embarrassment for not getting it. It's standing up for a cause that promotes the underprivileged, even though they risk ridicule and shaming because the people around them don't recognise their own privilege. Ordinary courage is a feeling of being proud of yourself for doing a job well done. And even though you risk scorn or mockery for being too big for your boots. It's standing up and honouring your own needs when the demands of others around you feel overwhelming. It's saying no to an invitation and risk disappointing someone else instead of pretending you want to go. Brenè also shares the story of a mum who's late for a preschool concert, and the everyday courage of a couple of the other mums who stopped and shared their stories of imperfection and vulnerability instead of shaming and judging. They took the time to stop and say, "Here's my story. You're not alone." Practicing ordinary or everyday courage daily, sharing your vulnerabilities and imperfections, makes not only a difference to you, but also those you love and trust around you. It shows that you could use some help, that you aren't so self-contained or isolated. Sharing how you're feeling and what you're hoping for opens the doors for shared joyful celebration when it happens, or genuine empathetic support if it falls short. I know I can tend toward a little too self-sufficient sometimes, and so it's definitely something I can spend some conscious effort to practice more often. Like Brenè, I've learned to play down or play small. So if it doesn't happen, it might not be such a public humiliation. But also, like she says, playing down the exciting stuff doesn't take the pain away when it doesn't happen. It does, however, minimize the joy when it does happen. It also creates a lot of isolation. Once you've diminished the importance of something, your friends are not likely to call and say, "Oh, I'm sorry that didn't work out. I know you were excited about it." I hope together we can grow our courage muscles in our daily life. Doing this video series is one for me. I really hope it's received well. I will be stepping up every day to bring it to you. I can't guarantee how well it'll be received, but I will continue to show up every day and work towards living my version of wholehearted living. I'd love you to keep joining me. And also, please remember, if your now is not the picture you've painted for yourself, and you'd like any help on this discovery path, or maybe something completely different that you have identified or intuitively feel isn't letting your true colours shine through, then please do get in touch with me. You can do it really easily. Just leave me a comment or send me a private message, drop me an email, or pop onto my Calendly online diary using the link I've provided, and we can set up an obligation-free curiosity call and see if we're a good fit for each other. Much love, until next time.